Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I am here with an informational video on how you can plan your trip to Sikkim. In this video, I'll cover all the topics that are needed for you to know if you're planning to visit Sikkim. Sikkim is an Indian state of Northeast region and is a part of Eastern Himalaya. Sikkim is also known as the only brother of seven sisters. Here, seven sisters of India refers to other seven states of Northeast India apart from Sikkim. Sikkim shares international borders with Nepal, Tibet Autonomous Region of China and Bhutan and is well connected to Siliguri corridor. Sikkim has got a very rich cultural heritage and its history dates back to 16th century. However, it became part of India in the year 1975 and got included in Northeast India in the year 2002. Sikkim is also known for its third highest peak in the world called Kanchenjunga. As Sikkim is the segment of Greater Himalaya, therefore it is blessed by nature in abundance. From snow-capped mountain ranges to colorful valleys, it is one of the most spectacular places on earth. There are 4 districts in Sikkim: East Sikkim, West Sikkim, North Sikkim and South Sikkim. If you are wondering which district you need to travel to, then the answer is all 4 districts. If you are planning to visit East Sikkim, then major tourist destinations are Gangtok, Nathula, Zuluk and Nathang Valley, with Gangtok being the capital of Sikkim. If you are planning to visit West Sikkim, then major tourist destinations are Pelling and Kanchenjunga National Park. If you are planning to visit North Sikkim, then major tourist destinations are Lachen, Lachung, Yumthang Valley and Guru Dongomar Lake. And if you are planning to visit South Sikkim, then major tourist destinations are Namchi and Rawangla. There are 3 ethnic groups in Sikkim, namely Bhutia, Lepcha and Nepali. Therefore, the language spoken in Sikkim are Nepali, Bhutia and Lepcha. Bhutia is also known as the Sikkimese. The most spoken language in Sikkim is Nepali. If you do not know any of these languages, then do not worry. English and Hindi is spoken by almost everyone here. There are 3 ways to reach Sikkim. One is with flight, another is by road and last one is by train but indirectly. First option of flight is very rare and only one operator called SpiceJet operate their flight from major airports to Sikkim directly. If you want to fly from Delhi or Kolkata to Sikkim, then you will get direct flights. And if you're looking to fly from any other metro cities, then it will be a connecting flight which is going to be expensive and time inefficient. If you're wondering if Sikkim even have its own airport, then yes, it does. It is RCS airport which is located in a place called Pakyong, which is just 25 to 30 kilometers away from Gangtok. Now other important airport is Bagdogra airport which is located in Siliguri of West Bengal. This is the most popular option among tourists as flights from any cities in India are easily available to Bagdogra and it is also cost effective. Now once you are at Bagdogra airport, all you need to do is hire a private taxi directly to Gangtok. But remember, the charges of these taxis are going to be expensive. You can either bargain with them or you can head towards the Siliguri bus stand. Now in this place, you can get 2 to 3 options for traveling to Gangtok. You can either book a seat in a bus to Gangtok or you can hire a private taxi directly to Gangtok or you can get into any shared sumos. Cheapest option is bus, but its availability is situational. Like in these times of COVID, bus service is not available. The price for bus seat will cost you somewhere around rupees 150 to rupees 200. Hiring a private taxi will cost you rupees 3,500 to rupees 4,500 depending on the season. If you are willing to travel from shared sumo or taxi, then it will cost you somewhere in between rupees 500 and rupees 800 depending on the season. Our last option to reach Sikkim is by train. The nearest railway station available is NJP, which is called as New Jalpaiguri Junction, which is located in West Bengal. Here outside the station, you will find many private taxis and shared taxis for Gangtok. The price range will be somewhat same which I mentioned earlier. Sometimes people traveling to Sikkim also wants to visit Darjeeling because Darjeeling is very close and they want to cover that as well. So there are 2 ways in which you can plan your travel. First, you can visit Darjeeling from Bagdogra airport or NJP junction and then head towards Pelling via Jorthang. Once you have completed the tour of Pelling, then you can head towards Gangtok and then respective other places. Now you can do this other way around also. First you can visit Gangtok from Bagdogra Airport or NJP Junction, and then after completing the tour of North Sikkim and East Sikkim, then you can head towards Pelling and then finally Darjeeling. Whichever option is convenient to you, you can choose that one. In order to complete a tour of major places in Sikkim, you will need at least 10 days. If you are a traveler who wants to cover offbeat places and villages, then even 20 days won't be enough. If you are a tourist, East Sikkim will take 4 days, West Sikkim will take 2 days, North Sikkim will take 3 days, and South Sikkim will take 1 day. Best season to visit Sikkim is post-monsoons or winters, and to be honest, it also depends on your requirement, whether you are a lover of lush green mountains or snow-clad mountains. If you are planning to visit East Sikkim, then winters will be the best time. For West Sikkim, it is post-monsoon. For North Sikkim, it is post-monsoon or winters. But from Yumthang Valley alone, it is spring season, which is the best time. And for South Sikkim, you can visit anytime you want. Season that you must avoid is monsoon, that is from June to August, especially the areas of West Sikkim due to landslide prone zones. So the best months for Sikkim trip is from October to mid of December. Areas like Changu, Nathula Pass, Zuluk and North Sikkim and few other parts comes under special protected areas due to its sensitive border share with Tibet Autonomous Region of China. So you are going to need permit to enter these areas. To get this permit, you need to approach any travel agents in Gangtok. You'll find many tour agents in MG Marg. You need to visit these tour agents at least a day prior to your visit to any of these restricted areas. Also remember, in peak seasons, due to heavy rush of tourists, you might need to approach these travel agents at least 2 to 3 days before you travel to these areas to get your permit. The whole area of North Sikkim requires protected area permit, and usually you will be offered with 3 days of permit by tour agents. If you want to extend your stay, then you need to plan it well before taking the permit, because once permit is given and you are in North Sikkim, there is no way you can extend your stay in North Sikkim, because that vehicle needs to exit from North Sikkim on the same date as mentioned in the permit. If you are thinking to drive your own personal car in any of these protected areas, then you are not allowed to do so. You cannot drive your own four-wheeler in any of these protected areas. You need to drop your car in Gangtok and contact any of the tour agents and take their package along with their permit. On the other hand, if you have a two-wheeler, then you can take your two-wheeler in any of these protected areas, but you need to apply for permit. In order to apply for permit, you need to approach tourism office in Gangtok, or you can approach North District Administration Center of Mangan. If you are planning to rent self-drive two-wheeler, then you can approach any rental services, hand over the docs, and they will get you the bike and the permit. For all Indian nationals, the documents that are needed for permit are 1 photocopy of identity card such as Aadhaar card, 2 passport size photographs and arrival card. It is mandatory for everybody to apply for arrival card before entering Sikkim, and this can be done by going on this website and filling all the information as asked. If you are a foreigner, then you need to apply for restricted area permit to visit Sikkim. For more details on how and where to obtain this permit, you can go through the list of centers which is mentioned on this website. I will also mention all these links in the description of this video. You will get taxis and sumos in Sikkim. You can either reserve a full taxi or you can travel on shared basis. Within Gangtok, if you are reserving a taxi, if to reach your destination, then it will turn out to be expensive. As per my experience, reserving a taxi for 5 km costed me rupees 500. But if you choose to travel in shared taxi, then cost will not be more than rupees 20 for a kilometer. There are 4 major telecom operators available in Sikkim: Airtel, Jio, Vodafone and BSNL. In Gangtok city, all these networks are available and gives decent speed on 4G connection. As per my experience, 4G of Jio gave me better speed than Airtel and Vodafone. On the other hand, in terms of call connectivity in remote areas, BSNL is the best option. When all other networks will give up, BSNL will be there to save the day. Now comes the most important part of the trip, budget. On an average, trip to Sikkim for 10 days would cost somewhere around rupees 25,000 to rupees 30,000 per person excluding flight or train tickets. Now this range of cost which I mentioned depends on several factors. Like if you're traveling alone, there'll be no cost distribution and you'll end up with high expense. At the same time, if you're tight on budget, you'll have to compromise with several things such as staying in very low budget hotels, eating in non-fancy restaurants and always traveling in shared taxis. Then automatically your expense would suddenly drop to rupees 15,000 excluding flights or train tickets. For a night, hotel will cost starting from rupees 1,000, but this might increase in peak seasons. For homestays, it starts from rupees 700 to 800 and hostels from rupees 600 to 700. Eating in fancy restaurants and cafes every day will burn a hole in your pocket, as per meal cost ranges from rupees 300 to rupees 1,000. Cab price for sightseeing places within Gangtok will cost you somewhere around rupees 2,500 per vehicle for a day. For North Sikkim, booking a sumo will range from rupees 17,000 to rupees 25,000. Usually this trip will be covered in 3 days and this price includes your hotel as well as food. On the other hand, if you are planning to visit North Sikkim on shared basis, then per person cost will be rupees 4,500 for 3 days. Traveling towards Canggu and Nathula, the vehicle cost will be somewhere around rupees 4,500 to rupees 5,000. But if you're planning to travel on shared basis, then it will be rupees 1,000 per person and this journey will be completed within a day. Renting a bike for North Sikkim will cost you rupees 1,000 to rupees 2,000 per day. Along with you have to pay rupees 1,000 for permit. If you want to travel to Pelling from Gangtok on shared basis, then it will cost you rupees 500. If you're planning to hire a full taxi and visit Pelling, then it will cost you somewhere around rupees 4,500 to rupees 5,000. Now apart from all this, there are entry tickets and parking tickets which will add up to your budget. So on an average, as I mentioned earlier, total cost will be somewhere around rupees 25,000 to rupees 30,000 excluding flight per person for 10 days. In Gangtok, you can stay in an area called MG Marg or around it. You can either stay in hotels or hostel. In North Sikkim, you will be staying in Lachen and Lachung. If you already booked your travel from tour agents, then your hotels will be pre-booked. If you're traveling from your own two-wheelers, then you can directly go to Lachen or Lachung and directly book your homestay. Places that you must visit when you are in Sikkim: Gangtok, Gurudongmar Lake, Yumthang Valley, Nathula Pass, Zuluk, Rawangla and Pelling. Let me list out some offbeat locations for you: Daraf Valley, Khichiperi Lake, Yuksam, Okhre, Versi, Yangang, Nathang Valley, Rangka, Zongu Valley and Chopta Valley. Activities that you can do while you are in Sikkim: you can do treks, yak riding at Canggu Lake, river rafting in Tista, bungee jumping at Singshore Bridge, paragliding in Rangka, helicopter ride and cable car ride in Gangtok or Namchi or Canggu Lake. In Sikkim, you are going to find Oriental food and Nepalese cuisine everywhere. You are going to get very less options on North Indian and South Indian food. For breakfast, mostly you are going to get momos and thukpas. If you are a food lover, then MG Marg is the best place for you. If you are not vaccinated, then you are not allowed to enter the state. You must be vaccinated with at least 1 dose of COVID vaccine. RT-PCR reports are mandatory if you are vaccinated with only 1 dose of COVID vaccine, and this report should not be older than 72 hours. If you are fully vaccinated, then RT-PCR report is not required. Due to this restriction of COVID, almost all monasteries in Sikkim are closed to tourists. There is a high possibility when you visit, there will be few tourist spots which will be closed due to this restriction. Also, you need to make sure you apply for arrival card before entering Sikkim. Alright guys, that was all about on how you can plan your travel to Sikkim. I've tried my best to cover all the topics. Even though if I missed any, do comment on this video, ask your question. I'll try to provide you the correct informations. I hope this video will be useful to you. I'll see you in my next video. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Make sure wherever you go, you do not litter the place. Bye-bye.